In this video, I just wanted to talk about why 2018 was one of the worst years I've had. Earlier in 2018, I worked at a place called Autoliv. If you don't know what Autoliv is, just know they manufacture airbags. I only worked there for like 3 weeks until everything went really bad. While I was there, I got treated pretty shit by everybody that was on the same line as me. I was learning all the things they were trying to teach me. Diva, come here. Diva, come here. I guess I wasn't picking up how to do each task as quick as they wanted me to do it. Because when you work on an assembly line like that, you're basically a robot doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until you switch to a different machine. But even then, it's the same machine over and over and over again. There was a few other people on my line, and they just treated me like shit. Like, I was stupid, I didn't know what I was doing, which I knew I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was trying my best, and that's all I can ever really do. That's all you can really ever do, is just do your best with it. They wanted me off the line, and I wanted off of their line. One time, this one girl, she had a shirt on that just said "Nope" right here, and I thought that was funny, so I just kind of pointed at it, like, hey, I think that's funny, like that's how I feel every day I come to this shithole. She went and told on me to a bunch of different people on the line and to my whoever the big person was in charge. She basically said that I touched her boob or something, sexually harassed her. That's a good card for women to pull these days. That basically got me kicked off the line. I didn't get fired, but I basically just got let go. Which is okay because I was going to quit anyway because they were so horrible to me all the time. The worst part is how early I had to wake up for that job. Like, day shift started at like 5 in the morning, and it was just ridiculous. I was always holding the crew back. They hated me. But there was one guy there who was nice to me. He was from Mexico, and he was a real estate agent until the stock market crashed in 2008. He started to work at Autoliv, and one time was late, and I just remember they were all talking such crap on him. I just thinking, everyone here is just such a snake, honestly. Working on the floor there is worse than high school. That's how terrible people were to each other. I felt kind of like I got crapped on. Hair everywhere. Hair everywhere because I'm petting my cat. See her? There's a cat on me. Yeah, she's Kobeing out of here. See you. Where was I? I felt like I got a little betrayed. Not betrayed, but just kind of shat on. Because the people that went through the same training as me, or two of them that I became friends with, and they got way better jobs than I did. They still had to wake up at the same time. Their jobs weren't as miserable. From then I should have known that that job wasn't gonna work out. After the Autoliv fallout, I got a job at the second worst place I've ever worked at. It was called Nutraceutical, and that sucked. When I worked at Nutraceutical, I could feel my sanity leaving my body. Because it was another assembly line job, I know. Way to go, Dalton. We manufactured pills and vitamins. Everyone was just so dead, there was no life in there. Every day you would go in there and everybody's face would be like this. Like, kill me please, which I can relate if you've worked in that place forever, but it was pretty miserable. Honestly, I was at a pretty low point. When I was working there, I only had a dream of making YouTube videos and having all this equipment that I could actually record, It was just some distant dream at the time. And it was pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. My job was I was a runner. I would go out and get the next order. We had one guy and another guy that would go out and actually get our orders. One guy was just such a sweetheart. He was so nice. He honestly made going there almost worth it. And then had another guy who was just cranky 300% of the time. I don't know what his problem was. You'd be like, hey, can you get this order for me? And he'd be like, oh my god. My line can't work unless you do this, and they're all gonna be thinking that I'm not out here trying to get the order because you won't get it. I don't know, it's just, everyone treated you like crap when you were a runner. For some reason, being a runner, doing most of the work, that puts you beneath everybody. Luckily, I had a line lead who was pretty nice. At least she acted nice. Eventually, I got a pretty cool person that showed up. He could make me laugh in a sentence. He was so funny. He hated it too. Everyone hated it there. It's not like anyone really loved their job. I wore a back brace there because that place gave me such back problems. Picking up those heavy, heavy boxes of pills just destroyed my back. I eventually quit there because I couldn't take it anymore. I know right now you're thinking, well, that's not too bad. I mean, this is my everyday life. Don't worry. It gets worse. A few months ago, my dad moved out. Newsflash, I'm still at my mom's now. It took me a second to realize because I just thought my dad went somewhere for work, just to look at a job that he's bidding on. And then, sorry. And, I find out that, my parents were getting divorced. And that was kind of hard because it was the family that I've always had is now, it was in two. Sorry. I will not cry. I know it's so stupid. Everyone's divorced. I don't know why the hell. It's so hard for me. I try to spend as much time as I can with my dad. And it's not like my parents getting divorced was like all so sudden, you know? It's been kind of building up over the years and kind of obvious that they didn't like each other as much as they might have used to like each other. I know, I'm such a bitch. Like a month or two later, my dad was at his house. He started bleeding because, you know, my dad's all alone over there for now. He started bleeding out of a spot that you should not be bleeding out of. You shouldn't be bleeding in general, but when you're bleeding out of a spot that you shouldn't be bleeding out of, that's pretty bad. My dad, he was in the bathroom at his house that he's living in now. He lost a ton of blood. He was super pale, super clammy. He was right here next to the bathtub, and he passed out, and he fell into the bathtub. He'd lost so much blood, and he just managed to somehow call my mom, and he wasn't very coherent. And so my mom went down there, and she saw how much blood there was, and so then they called the ambulance and they took him away. That one for me was the hardest because I was so close to losing the most important man in my life. If my dad didn't somehow get a hold of my mom, if he didn't have his phone on him, I probably would have lost him. And that, out of all the things that's happened this year, that one's the hardest. Being so close to losing someone who means so much to you. I'm sorry that I started crying. I didn't make this video so I could be like, oh, poor me, my life's so hard. Everyone to feel bad for me, me. I wanted to share it with you and why 2018 kind of sucked. But now it's 2019, and I hope the year will be much better. Which, considering how low 2018 went, anything would be an improvement. Not everything that happened in 2018 was shit. I actually went on a vacation. It's just not something my family ever had the opportunity to do very much. We actually went to Kauai. Kauai is the most northern island in the Hawaiian Islands. That was the first time I've ever been so far from home. That trip on Kauai, we had everybody except for my middle sister. I have a younger sister and then two older. So the one right next to me, she didn't go because she had a kid to look after. Well, she has a kid to look after. Her kid's still a kid. That was a really great trip. I'm so lucky that I was able to go there because that was the last time that my family really felt like a family. I would highly recommend visiting Kauai. It's such a gorgeous island. And then we came back, and then that's when everything got statistically much worse. I hope 2019 will be a much better year for your boy. Right now, I just want to keep making videos and hopefully grow an audience. That's kind of what I'm working on, you know? I didn't make this video so you would pity me. Believe me, that's not what I want. I just wanted to tell you what's been going on. Anyway, make sure you guys leave a like on this video and make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you guys in my next video.